columns and articles by experts, but now I can engage those experts, and I can join a network with them, and I can ask them questions directly. And that's so similar to the differences between going to the library and getting a book on photography or going to a university and taking a course in photography, right? The difference is that with the book, all I can do is read and get the information coming at me. I can't engage in a conversation with that book. But if I take a course, my instructor is going to be a photographer, is going to be a professional who can now teach me those skills and engage me in a community of people, whether it's just my classmates or a professional community who are interested and skilled in those areas. So I hope you see that what we're looking at right now with the emergence of more and more social media forums is we're looking at forms of communication that can easily take the place of the benefits of higher education. So social media communication changes who we can talk to, how many people we can reach, the variety and scope of the people that we can reach, and the methods that we can use to express ourselves in those groups. We can join any group, anytime, as many groups as we want. With enough effort, we can reach the most reputable experts in our fields or in a topic area that we're interested in ways that we couldn't do 15 years ago. In a way that 15 years ago we would have had to join a professional organization, we would have had to gone to university just in order to have any kind of access to these kinds of experts. But now through social media, through this computer sitting on my desk in my living room, I can reach anybody I want, and I can learn anything I want. So the parallels between education and communication are extremely strong. We have methods of distributing and engaging in information that used to be exclusive to the campus, that now in an informal way we can engage with anytime we want. And monologic communication, the communication methods of 15 years ago, of 10 years ago, before blogs and wikis and social networks and Twitter and Second Life, they don't allow for community. They don't allow for an exchange of ideas. This is, again, thinking about the difference between a book or a magazine and a social network or a virtual world. So instead of just receiving information, we can now engage in that information. So this dialogic communication, this two-way communication, the one-to-one, the many-to-many, remediates the lack of community in the old models. And the old models of just the book and the pen, and the old models of independent learning. And it offers new ways without the communities and structures created by institutions. We used to have to rely on institutions to provide us with these learning opportunities. We used to have to rely on official spaces in order to engage in discussions and communities around subject areas and around expertise. We don't need institutions anymore to do that. If I want to, let's go back to the photography example, if I want to learn how to become a professional photographer, I do not need an official institution in order to learn that. If I'm driven and motivated, I can go online and I can engage in a community and I can learn just as well as I could have with the official resources that would have been offered me through an institutional degree. Now, I'm not saying all of this because I think we should be getting rid of institutions. I'm not suggesting that we should be encouraging students not to engage in universities and colleges. What I'm saying is that when there are forms of media that can easily replace us, our roles have to change. So many of the benefits of institutional learning can now be accomplished via social media. And I hope I've shown you that the communities, the resources, the experts that we rely on institutions to provide are now free online for anyone who's motivated enough to engage in them. So here's the question that we're stuck with. What is the educator's role in a world where the production and consumption of information has been democratized, amateurized, and distributed? What happens to our role as educators, as the trusted distributors of information, the trusted guides through experiences and through professionalization, when all of those forms are free online? Well, one implication is that educators are no longer the gatekeepers of knowledge. And I think we probably all know that. And we probably don't want to see ourselves as gatekeepers anyway. But the bottom line is that everything that we know, the everything that our students come to us to guide them through, is now all available online. And they don't have to turn to an institution to gain that kind of professional mentor. They can find those mentors online, and they can have very authentic relationships with those people. So I'm going to suggest the new role of educators here. So this is what I see as being the changes that we need to make in order to continue to provide high quality education to our students when there is so much social media that competes with the perceived value of university and college experiences. First of all, our role switches to teaching students how to learn in an information economy. So whether you teach biology, mathematics, English, business practices, accounting, anything, part of our job now is not just to expose students to those subject areas, but to teach students how to learn on their own. We have to teach them how to engage in the information economy. We have to teach them how to find answers to questions and how to have critical information literacy. Because when they leave our classrooms, they're going to continue to learn their whole lives, and they're going to need to know how to travel through these social media forms in order to reach out and engage in a community that's going to continue in their professional development. We have to serve as guides to our students to help them shape their own paths. So rather than being the experts in the rooms, we have to help them become their own experts and define their own areas of intellectual curiosity so that they know who to access, who to engage with, and what communities will be most beneficial to them. We should be providing students to access to professional networks. Lots of folks talk about the difference between digital natives and digital immigrants, which I reject wholeheartedly. I think it's more about motivation and skill than age. But as professionals, those of us who are here especially, are all using social media to establish access to professional networks. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be in Second Life. You wouldn't be attending an event like this. And so this is one of the skills that we have to convey to our students. We have to teach them how to use social media to engage in professional networks of their own. We have to open up the way that we do this, the way we connect with people in our fields, to experts, to finding answers to questions, to gaining experiences. We have to teach them how to do that for themselves, not just in our classroom, but outside of our classroom, with the whole digital community as a whole. We must model lifelong learning practices. The internet provides infinite information at any time, which means that intellectual curiosity can be satisfied at a moment's notice. But the way we teach right now in many places insinuates that there are privileged learning spaces, that you learn your topic area, your subject area, you learn through experiences that are only provided within the institution, only in the classroom, only through the homework, only in the library. When the